Audio Jungle.
Here we go!
Audio Jungle.
Here we go!
Audio Jungle. Audio Jungle. Audio Jungle.
Here we go!
Audio Jungle. 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 Audio Jungle.
This is a little quick guide on how to use this template. I'll show you all the main features which you can use to customize this template. So first of all, we see here transitions, notifications, streams, and frames. Let's start with the transition. As you can see, we have here VFX stream pack composition. You can quickly overview all elements which this pack has. Or you can just render this element, one of the elements by itself. Just double click on it and render by itself. It all has alpha channel. Let's start with our transition. Let's open our file transition. All compositions which you can find here, you'll have control layer. Basically, it's for controlling your colors. So for example, we can here control our frame color. Just by clicking right here, you can choose any color. Some of color controls of other elements can also use the saturation, but this one, as you can see, uses only the color value. Also, you'll find in all of color controls, enable fire color edit. You'll need to click on this checkbox to be able to change color of your fire. So here also easily you can change color. As you can see now, you can also change the saturation. So if you want to have black and white, you just set to these colors here, or some bright colors like this. Okay, this is fire transition. Let's quickly check other compositions. So fire transition, as you can see, it also has color control. Also, you need to click on here. So to change the color of the fire, you can change text. Just double click on it. And if you want to have different colors of top and bottom one, you just need to select it and change here. And this is how you can just change color of the top and then bottom. If you need this text to be smaller, just select this text, left click and drag to select this word, and then just make it smaller. With this value here, you can just tidy it up and also change the stroke to 6 or any other. It works with any font which you have. So now let's check other. So basically here all of these templates has these features which you can change. Now let's check our notifications and alerts. So for notifications and alerts, you have these 3 preset colors, and in each of these composition you can find logo or text here. It will automatically update in each of the notifications compositions. Like if we go to logo and just disable it and set your own logo, I'll just have this digit here. As you can see, it automatically updates in each of the compositions. But for example, if you want to have other colors, you can go to notification, edit colors. You can change only here, because here, as you can see, you can change only the color of the triangle. But in this notifications, in notification edit colors, you can completely change a background, fire, and front one. You also can change color of the triangle. As I've said, you can change the color of the front fire and the color of background fire. So this is how you can easily customize it and render with alpha. I'll show you how to render alpha channel a bit later in this video. Okay, this is our notifications and alerts. Now let's check our streams. Here we have stream offline and stream starting soon. Let's close these off. So stream offline, I recommend you to use as B-rate back screen. It doesn't have alpha channel, but if you want to have alpha channel for these 2 compositions which doesn't have alpha channel, you can just write me on this email which you can see on screen. And I'll make update specifically for that. But basically it's just a waiting screen, so I don't think it needs to have alpha channel. Okay, here we have text 1 and text 2. As you can imagine, this is this first text and second. Here in color control, once again, we can change the colors to whichever we want. White looks also pretty. As also, you can change the text banner color. If you want to have your branding colors, for example, red, you can change it. And go to text 1, and just select it and type your text. And you can check the result, type text. If you have big text, just make it smaller, bring it down, and adjust it. And type more. Like this. So stream, now let's take a look at the starting stream. Here our Fire Madness. Let's go to color control. Here as also you can change the colors. As also enable color of the text itself. As also you have this text 1 and text 2 to change your text. So now let's go to next and final, our frames and panels. This do not delete, just do not delete. Here are all assets which I've used to create this template. So let's close this and let's open frames. As you can see, we have these frames. This is basically where you want to have your gameplay, as well as frame of 4x3. We have also square frame and like portrait kind of frame. It's easy to use because it also has a control layer. Here we can enable colors. You can just click on it and change color to whichever you want, like this, and have your unique look. So first value is makes it inner part tighter, and this second inner frame makes roundness at the corners. If you check here, you can see that we have these corners rounded. As also this frame 2 is for this part, and we also can change this roundness. Same settings we have in each of the frames. Also we have live chat. Here we can also change this light sweep color. We can disable or enable our fire has also changed the color of the fire. Panel color, we can change it also if you need. And background color, you can also change. There's also the opacity. Now let's go to little panels. Basically, it's all the same panel, but with a new icon, and you can change the text itself. You have these similar settings as to the frames. You can change the sweep color. There's also secondary sweep color. It's across the all. Panel color, enable and disable the color of the fire. Is also choosing the color of the fire. And background color for this part here, if you want to have your unique custom look. Also, you can just double click on text and type whichever you want. And here we can see our coins icon. All these panels have their own icon. You can just double click on it and change to whichever you want if you want to create a custom icon for your panel. So we have a few of them and just the same settings which you saw before. Okay, now let's go to panel 1 and panel 2. So panel 1, as you can imagine, it's the bottom panel. You can render it with the alpha channel as well and set it below your screen. Here you can just change this text. It's text 1, this is text 2, and this is text 3. As we did before, just open it and change your text. Now let's take a look how you can change color of this. Just select this control layer and go to effects and controls. Here you can enable ability to change the colors and choose your own color if you want to have different look like this. You can also enable cartoon fire. It just makes cartoon fire. It's also enable this one to change overall color if you want just to have one color overall. Also, you have these two settings. It's only for this part here in the middle. For example, if you take a look at the preset here with the original fire, you can see that fire has here a part and here. You can just set it to 0 and it will be just with no interruptions here. But I thought it would be helpful to cut some of the fire for better visibility of your text. As also, if your text is longer than this, like let's say you have long text or a longer name of your channel, you can also stretch it out like this. And then just combine how you want it to look. You can also change the size of it if you have even longer text. And now let's take a look at the next one. Once again, just render this and use in OBS or whichever software you're using. And finally, panel 2. Panel 2 is basically these kind of the panels. Take a look here. We can just disable all of this and have this fire preset. Basic fire preset. By the way, all of these panels, all compositions which you see are a perfect loop, so you can use it just repeating over and over again however you want. So let's take a quick look how to change these colors. All controls to each of the panel to change color, as you can see. And just for changing text, just open all of these compositions and change your text like this. And it will automatically update here. And just render and use it. Once again, all these compositions are in perfect loop. So now let's take a look how you can render this with alpha channel. I'll show you how to render this for GIF or GIF. If you don't have any sound, you just can render any of this in GIF format. For this, let's use notifications. If you're a streamer, you know that you can upload some GIFs to your alerts and notifications. For example, you chose this, you customize it as you want it. You can just go to composition and add to render queue. And here you can just click on this lossless, Select this PNG sequence, PNG, and set it to RGB plus alpha. It will render as PNG sequence, just a sequence of images. Click OK. Let's call it forgive and save it. Let's render. So once it's rendered, you will see this sequence of PNG images with alpha channel, which looks great. These ones you can delete where you don't see anything. Just left with this. Let's delete it. We don't need it. And now we can open Photoshop or any other tool which allows you to convert PNG sequence into GIF. But let me show you how to use in Photoshop. So let's open our PNG sequence. So we select this first and click image sequence here and click open. And 30 FPS is right, but you can change to any number of FPS which you want, frames per second. I'll leave it at 30 and click OK. So now we need to click Ctrl, Shift and Alt S on keyboard. So these 4 buttons you need to press at the same time. It will save as GIF, as you can see here. So it loads in this huge size, which you can adjust and make it smaller if you want. And just it will loop forever. You can change it to forever and save wherever you want. This is our GIF, which we just made. And as you can see now it has alpha channel and it repeats forever or once if you will set once in Photoshop. And that's how you can render your GIF. For example, if you want to have the best quality, you need to go to composition, add to render queue, and here change to QuickTime and alpha channel. It will be a very large size of the video, but it will be the best quality which you can see here. Let's have this render. So let's open OBS. So this OBS I'm using right now. I quickly show you how to use a transition. For example, let's add a stinger transition and properties, browse. I just select. Also, we need to know the point. Basically, is the point where it covers all the screen. Let's control click on this. It's 40 frame, as you can see. As you remember, our transition point is 40. And click OK. It will apply this transition. If we change between scenes, it will apply this transition, as you can see. Well, this is pretty much it. If you'll have any questions about this template or any of my projects, feel free to write me on this email, which you can see on the screen right now. Thank you for watching.